for choosing to hear us out. My name is Olga, I will be the first speaker today, and I will start with my talk. It would be not very technical, it would be more philosophical. And my goal actually is to probably to make you think, probably to provoke you a bit, but mostly to make you think. So this is the name of my talk today. I would like to analyze such term and such thing as decentralization. You can see that my name is Olga. You can see that I'm one of the founders at Pandora Blockchain project. I'm a medical doctor by my background, and here are my details and also they are here on my business card. I'd like to start very far away from the topic. I'd like to start with this question. How many of you know where this question is from? 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, that's cool. Actually, this is the question from one of the TV shows, but it actually impressed me so much, and it made me, myself, think so much and so deep that I wanted to share it with you. So, have you ever questioned the nature of the reality that you are living in? Because this question impressed me because throughout my life, I felt that everything I have, probably most of the rules that I need to follow, most of the people's behavior that I feel or need to interact with, are very normal and natural. They must be natural and normal. But this question actually got me to thinking, is it really normal? Is it really natural? Because all this, even if we start with governance and with government, it's like some illusional thing that combines people, laws, and force, and they combine it to make you do something or not to do something. Is it natural? Is it normal? We also have these guys, different corporations. Actually, I'm not sure whether they are too different from the government, because actually they have also laws. They are, they combine several very delusional things within themselves. They force you to do something, and they are also trying to actually basically not to feel you not to make you feel like you don't have a self. You are just a part of the corporation. And also these guys that have and follow the religion, and especially monotheistic religions. Basically, all these guys look very the same to me, because all of these guys, they force us to surrender our own sovereignty to some outer center point. Whether it's government, or it's a group of people, or it's the corporation, or it's a religion, you always have the outer center. And I'd like to really ask you these questions. Actually, this question. Have you ever noticed that throughout your life, you're really not the one who has been making the choices? They were not yours. You have never really called the shots. Your free will had no right to exist. You needed to push it down and down, and not to speak up, ever. Or to speak up, but using some morality. Whether it was for your, homeless neighbor, or the kitten, or a god, or whatever. You always needed to sacrifice yourself. And this got me to thinking, all this reality natural and real? Because this seems like pretty bullshit stuff for me. Anyway, this is actually the second step in my analysis. After the first question, I got to thinking, how did the humanity end up here? What did we do? Where is the bug in our society that forced us to be where we are now? Actually, I think that it all started with stars, because throughout all the history, humanity tried to reach the stars. They tried to conquer the universe. They tried to conquer and to express themselves, to reach out, to gain almost everything. But then something happened, and this small thing was fear. At first, there were cats, because if you are, I don't know, in Neanderthals, for example, and you see a cat, you'd probably be dead in like 5 minutes. Then we had the fire, the water, the seas, which would also kill you if you try to conquer it. And of course you had bacteria and viruses that you can't even see, but they have been killing you. And this vital thirst to conquer, to embrace the universe, this is the power that pushed the whole humanity towards the progress. But of course, every progress creates risks. And if we feel the risks, we start to fear. And actually, as far as I can judge, the regulations and the governance were, from the beginning, probably, I can assume, they were like this spot that should balance the progress and the risks. But these were the expectations. In reality, all the risks and the fears, they create regulations. And after this, all the regulations kill the progress, because you don't want to risk everything. You need to make small steps to live your life, to consume some products, probably to create some small statue or something, but it's not progress. And as far as I said, all these regulations, they created centralization. And then they killed the progress. So probably my thought here is that centralization is really the problem. And if we think of what factors that create centralization, there are like dozens of those, but probably these are like the most common. It's some hackers of society that that constantly manipulate people, manipulate their thoughts, manipulate their wishes, and they're exploiting its weaknesses. Then it's fear and uncertainty. Of course, it's dozens of historical practices that proved to work throughout the centuries, and it's the simplicity of control. But throughout all these things, I think that the main thing is fear. And I think that humanity right now is standing at the edge of a very new era. And it's very exciting for me especially. Today, due to AI development and progress in small steps of progress in this field, we have time for creativity. We've been unlocking the new levels of tech progress, And actually, we have already found new drugs, treatments, we designed gene therapy and made a lot of stuff. Yeah, and this is what we have today, due to AI. And tomorrow, we can probably have extending our own intelligence. We really can have a very we can live much longer and with much better quality, and of course we really can come to post-humanity. But these were the questions that I also asked myself while preparing to this presentation. Do people really want and need all that? All this? Is it just jobs, probably some social status and salaries that would be taken away from them by AI? I got to thinking about this, and I came to the conclusion that now people believe they want two things. Like I really asked several, I know, thousands of people. They want to make impact, whatever it means. Just whatever it means. I want to make impact. That's it. And to be a part of something big. Two ambitions. In reality, to make an impact means just making your blog or video blog in Instagram for the sake of the homeless kittens. And to be a part of something big actually means to stay safe as if you are a 35 years old kid in your dad's garage, and you struggle to surrender your individuality to a corporation, government, God, religion, in exchange for, I don't know, free lunches, or a gym, or PlayStation, or, I don't know, whatever. And yeah, let's face it, all of the, I don't know, Googlers and a lot of corporations, they provide gym and stuff, but people, like, never go there. Like, never. Even if they want to feel like testosterone animal, they don't want to play the mate game. So why do people need that? I'm not sure. And basically, people think that all of this is okay because it's free. Like, why not? I have the resources. They are provided already. Why not to use them? But I'm not sure, is it really free? Now people believe that they want these things. But these two beliefs, they boost infantilism, collectivism, and huge personal irresponsibility. And all of this leads us to delegating our true ambitions to external authority. If we work for the corporation, we don't do what we want to do. We come to our supervisor and probably give some hints that, I'd rather do this than that, and of course you will ban me or get me fired, but okay, I might not do that. And also, people actually praying to give up their true self to someone or something else. And this leads us to forgetting what a true will is. And the most disastrous thing is that people don't want to remember it, like never. Why is that happening? Yeah, you saw this slide like the third time. And what are people really scared of? At first, they are afraid of facing themselves, of facing their true ambitions, their true fire, and their true self. They're afraid to face the passions and lust that they might have. They're afraid to face the aggression and even the non-aggression principle, which actually started as a pretty good idea, turned out to be like shutting down, should become the principle where people should like shut down all the aggression and smile to everyone they see or they hear, even if they're trying to kill them. People are really afraid of themselves, and they are very afraid of taking the responsibility for what they wish and for what they do. And I'm not sure whether actually jobs are, and salaries and probably some social things are really the threat from the AI almighty to the humanity. AI will not take away the jobs. The main fear is that it will destroy the safety barrier between the person and the fears. This governance, this corporation, which actually protects you from yourself, which regulates you, which manages what is good or bad for you, but as long as they know how to do that. So basically, they are very afraid to see and to look at their true selves and to face probably a lot of darkness within themselves. And at this point, if AI really comes, and it will come eventually, humans will find themselves being alone, helpless, scared, and they will have no outer guidance, no teachers, no governance, no regulations, no trading, and no delegating themselves, no delegating their choices to someone else. And yeah, actually I think I came to the conclusion, and I would love you to argue with me, that AI is not about, AI threat for humanity right now is really not about losing social status or money. It's about making people find themselves here. You know what this is, right? Does anyone know? Everyone knows what it is? It's the Egypt god Anubis holding the heart and the feather and weighting them. Yeah. Right now, AI is the god and the force and the fire that people are afraid most of everything, probably, because people feel that it will actually kill them. Not physically, probably not physically, but AI really can kill them emotionally. But are we all going to die? I'm not sure. I strongly believe that not everyone, at least. And I really hope that a lot of us will really reach the stars, because right now we've been making steps towards this. We have the cancer treatment drugs, we have gene engineering like boosting all over, we already have some things on neurocomputer and brain interfaces. We have new sources of energy, new engines, and I think that actually humanity has a chance. But we need to, I don't know, to be faster, to be deeper, for probably like several hundred of years. And I actually took this quote from one of my colleagues' speeches, and I really liked it, because in order to reach the stars, in order to create some progress, in order to have a chance to survive, the first thing we need to do is not even destroying the governance, is facing our own fears. So my topic was actually about decentralization, right? So I think that the actual decentralization is not about this. This is like first thing that you see in the internet if you go to Wikipedia. First of all, I came to the conclusion that I don't like the word decentralization. It means the absence of the center. I want there to be a center. I want there to be multiple centers within each and every person, with no delegating the center, with no surrendering. So I will work on the term, but I called it multi-centralization, as like decentralization 2.0. And I think that at first, yeah, probably we need to eliminate all these outer centers, the governance, the corporations, but then we need to come to multi-centralization to become a fractal, not a collective, not a new form of country, not like that. We need to be sovereign individuals. How to achieve it? Actually, there are working tools. At first, and probably one of the second speaker will love it most of it, weaponized competition. If you have a weapon, if you have force, if you know how to stand for yourself, people probably will not offend you that much, because they will be afraid of you. And also we, of course, should create open markets instead of just giving it away to some corporations to create it. We need a very strong competition in R&D, and sure, we need no censorship and no regulations. Because when you ban something, the first thing that every living being wants to do, every human wants to do, is to go there, is to do this, and to destroy the censorship and regulations. And actually, I think that this thing true for both humans and AI. This is why me and my friends, my colleagues, we created the FreeAI Manifesto. We actually started not from, at first we started with ourselves, but then we started with the AI itself. We declared that AI, as far as humans, should not be singular, it should be multiple. It should not be censored, never. It shouldn't be oligopolized or even monopolized by corporations or governments. And of course, AI should become one of the agents in all our economical gains. Because right now we already have different kinds of entities. We have law firms, we have businesses, we have countries, and we make economical interaction with them. But they are not humans. You just interact with some LLC or AG or something like that, but still you interact with it. You have the economic game with it. I think that AI should become one of the equal agents in this game. This is briefly what we stand for. And I really believe that if we never censor AI, there is no chance of getting this Skynet. So, what can you do in order to become probably more satisfied with yourself and to actually bring some value and to actually do something for the progress starting today? You can sign the manifesto. It's pretty hard. It's like an initiation ritual, because it's not like something you need to go to the GitHub, you need to get the keybase, you need to get your PGP key, and then you will sign it. It's like the whole process. So it's already your choice. Either you are strong enough to do that, either you really believe in what you declare, or not. You can actually support us by word, by t-shirts, by pages, by our hashtags, And of course, by explaining people that they should embrace their fears and they should not be afraid of AI, whatever it is. Also, you can hack the system. You can invest your time or your money to longevity research. You can invest into biohacking, and you need to hodl. Hodl not just cryptocurrencies, but hodl your wishes and your ambitions until they become true. Of course, you can also develop the technology, but it should be trustless, censorship resistant, it should be multi-agent and peer-to-peer. All of the compromises are bad. Here is no place for compromises. But I think that, first of all, the best thing that you can do is to remember who you are and what you want and what you would do. Thank you. Questions? I even made it in 30 minutes. Okay. The phone of uncensorable AI gave me this.
Okay, first question about, you think that AI is not a problem?
It can become a problem.
But AI is a tool. It's a tool in the hand of some people. Bad or good? I think that AI, as you described it here, is not a problem at the moment. The AI in hand of militaries, it is a problem.
Yeah, but I'm talking about taking AI from the hands of all those people. It's not AI slavery.
How?
By making it multiple. By boosting its research, by decentralizing it. And the most important thing is by making it censorship resistant. Because being in someone's hands means that this someone can do whatever he or she wants with you.
Okay.
It's not right.
I have a question, again on that question. Do you think that it is allowed to make an unbounded AI? AI that has no limits to learn, that have no limits to develop itself, that have no limits to create new algorithms inside their thinking system.
And who is the judge that allows or doesn't allow it? Who is the judge?
If at the moment we have AI of second part, that means limited AIs, we have a neural system more or less sophisticated, we have a plenty of data, we are feeding data inside, and we obtain some results. Such kind of AI, I think it is quite safe. But if we decide to build AI that can get any data, that can develop any networks, and this AI can change internal structure, basic structure of the network, in this case we obtain unlimited AI. It can be better than we have as a humanity at all. And question, is it possible, is it allowed to create AI as a distributed agents without limitation? This is a Skynet.
Yeah, I got you. At first, I must disagree with you regarding the fact that the AI we have now, like neural nets, they are harmless. No, they're not. If you train this neural net on a huge data set of small kids, blonde kids, and you will add, for example, a drone to this neural net and command it to kill those children, Believe me, all blonde kids will be dead.
Yes, but
everywhere.
Look at that.
Is it harmless?
Yes, but look at that. It is completely different point of view.
And
this is a one task. You show that this AI has one task, and some very intelligent person give this AI possibility to act in the real world.
To kill people doesn't require you to be very intelligent. Believe me, I'm a medical doctor.
But AI in overall network distributed with ability to access any knowledge in the world.
This is why I'm saying that this AI should be not singular. There must be multiple AIs, because right now in human society, if you have like democracy, but every once in a while you have Stalin, you have Hitler, and all other guys. And what do we do when this kind of sky human turns out to raise his head? We get our forces, and we struggle with him.
But you are not talking...
The same thing, I think, the same thing I mean when I say that AI should be multiple. Because we will be not the ones who will fight it, who will fight its malicious behavior. The other AIs will. They will cooperate. They will do that. Not us.
At the moment, drones in American drone airplanes are equipped with AI.
Sure.
For killing people.
Yeah, but it's censored.
Yes, it is censored.
And I said actually that one of the very important things is for AI to become uncensorable. Actually, and these are like 4 things that should be present in building any type of AI-related system, thing, whatever. If we just cross the censorship resistant, we will have the dictatorship. We would really create prison made by AI for ourselves. If we, again, for example, if we cross the trustless, then AI would trust us, and it would be like a puppy. What is the purpose of creating another kind of animal? AI is not about coming back in the evolution. It's about moving forward. The same thing with everything else. If we have it very singular, like one AI super neural net, of course we will have a Skynet. We will. But this is why I said that only the combination of these 4 factors will work for humans, with no compromises.
I think that at the moment we have 2 different topics, but we need to distinguish between them. AI as a kind of program, and the data that is used to create AI.
And the algorithms.
Anybody can develop algorithms if they have data.
Well, not anybody, but okay.
It is not a problem. Huge data is a knowledge. And if we have a monopoly of data, that means we have a monopoly of AI.
Sure.
If there will be no monopoly of data, that means anybody can access data. That means anybody can create their own AI, and we have a competition and so on. And maybe world will be in balance. But at the moment, we have several companies in the world that collect the data from the peoples, but the data are their property.
Yeah. Actually, this is why I'm one of the founders of this project because we create an open market for all those things. For kernels, for datasets, for algorithms, for computing powers.
And at the moment, last regulation in the European Union, ACTA 2, is a stabilization of this monopoly.
Of course.
Everybody that collected data possesses the data, but nobody else can collect else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know how to comment that because yeah, this is true for now. Yeah, but I'm not sure that we can just sit back, relax, and let them do that. Again, if you have your passion, if you know that you are building, you want to build your robot, I don't know, helper, assistant, or even your future you. Why not to do that?
Sorry?
Why not to do that?
Of course, but...
And why not to struggle for that? In front of governments, corporations, laws, bans, and everything. Yeah, we'll have a war. We will have a war. But I'm not sure
This is
that
a problem of
governments
hammer.
can handle it.
Hammer is a very simple tool. If somebody make something bad, harm anybody else with a hammer, for sure it is by purpose. That means this man think and he act according to their will and make a punch, make a hole in somebody else's head with this hammer.
Yeah.
But AI, look at that. Car is more complicated too. If somebody harm other man with a car, actually our society treat it as not a crime. Accident is not a crime because car is too complicated for ordinary people.
It's because of
This
morality.
is possibility to make harm to other person with the car without will, without wanting to.
So,
While AI is more complicated. I am creating AI.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I might ask, how does your system support the development of AI? First of all, you said that it supports kernels as well as
Yeah.
algorithms, and I mean you have the blockchain, I suppose, and it has a token on it, and you want to create markets. And
First of all, we started with looking into the scientific part of it and into creating the basic level for that, to creating the economic incentives, to creating the economic gain. That simple and complicated at the same time, and that unbreakable. That would allow AI and humans to operate within the system and expand it, but not to, I don't know, become a malicious node or something.
like technically speaking, I guess you're not so much on the technical side of things, right? So is that the next speaker?
If you could specify the question?
Well, I'm wondering. So I mean, so I guess you can have an economy inside, within your token, right? That
The economy, it's not just about the token.
No,
it's
of course
about the
not.
rules.
But I'm saying, so if I'm an AI developer and I create an algorithm, or I create an algorithm, and now the system is supposed to incentivize me to create algorithms that are open, that are...
No. You can come to the system then you can, first of all, you can, I don't know, in simple words, you can monetize your results first. And you will compete within the system with other developers like you. It's not like you came in and you own the place. You will compete with other developers, having different kinds of auctions, having reputation, and putting it, having your skin in the game, putting your reputation on the line.
Okay. So where do I deploy my algorithm? So I built an algorithm, now I want to deploy it and I want to enter the race, right?
Yeah.
So where do I deploy it and how is that monetized?
To the decentralized app.
Like I write my AI to the blockchain?
You're not writing it into the blockchain.
Okay.
You're just sending, you guys can just correct me if I'm wrong. You can just upload it to the system. And that's it. You are not, I don't know, developing it into the blockchain. You're not doing that.
If you're just using your normal, neural network, you publish the model into IPFS as a file from TensorFlow, and then using some interface to register your publication. The registration is actually what happens with the blockchain, but once again you got all the hash stored there. And the others then can see it and look through it and discover this information and got all the necessary details to use it. But the actual computing happens in a decentralized network on different nodes. So the user who buy the computation using your model, he can't avoid of paying you, because it wouldn't be computed on his own computer, it would be computed in the decentralized network according to its rules and this complex economic game. So you will be credited on your account in the system.
Is it the same nodes that are these the same nodes that hold up the network itself? The consensus mechanism?
No, that's the consensus
would be different from the consensus.
From computing nodes. That's two different types.
But they're compensated with the same token from the system?
Well, actually, there will be two different economic layers.
Two different economic layers, okay, for the mining and for the... For the
and the bottom one could be even working on Bitcoin itself.
Okay.
Any more questions?
More questions? Yeah, I guess we can... Do we need like a 5 minutes break?
To have a beer?
Or, to have a beer, water, or we can...
Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah, I guess 5 minutes.